After 35 years of one-party rule, people about sick and tired of being told what to do. People sick and tired of being taxed. People sick and tired of having their children sexualized by pedophiles. It's just terrible what they're doing. People are ready for change. I'm not talking about the hope and change that Obama tried to sell us in 08. I'm talking about real constitutional change where we get back to doing what the Constitution says and living within the framework of our founders. No agendas, no this, no that. Loren Culp's campaign is popular for many reasons, not the least of which is that he's not about a political agenda, right? He's not one of these left-wing goons, these idiots that we have in Olympia. He's not like the milquetoast, mealy-mouthed guys on the right that sometimes they're in and sometimes they're not, and well, you know, maybe we can try to reach across the aisle and they end up throwing all of us under the bus every single time. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Anybody tired of being thrown under the bus? Where's our leadership on the right? Where is it? Where's it been for 35 years? Why does it take 35 years to finally get a candidate that will stand up for the people? Why? That's the question you people out there have been asking. Why? But I believe that we have a time. I worked for the president in 2016. I was on his staff. How many of you love Donald Trump? Hell yeah. He gives me fits sometimes with that damn Twitter, but I tell you, sometimes I look at my phone, I'm like, oh, hell no. He did not just... Oh, it's true.
It's true. I gotta love that.
But in 2016, we had.
He likes to.
How many of you know we dodged a bullet in 2016? 2016 didn't win the war. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. If you think everything's going to be okay now just because Trump won the first election, not true. It just gave us a space. It created an amount of time where people like you and people like me can go to work to make real change. It gave us an opportunity. In 2020 in Washington, we've got that same opportunity that we had in 2016. We've got that opportunity here right now. We might not get this opportunity again. Mr. Trump won the election because people showed up to vote. It's true. And in 2020, we will win this election and send Loren Culp to the governor's mansion in November when we all show up to vote. But he can't do it alone. It's going to take everybody. It's going to take all of us. It's going to take a team effort. But I believe together we can send common sense to Olympia. Together. Loren can't do it by himself. Together, we're going to send common sense to Olympia, and we're going to lead Washington's comeback. Are you guys ready to hear from the next governor of Washington State? I absolutely love the United States of America. Do you agree with me? I love the state of Washington, yes? I was raised here in Washington State. My dad was a deputy sheriff up in Jefferson County, right outside of Port Townsend. I grew up on a small farm in Chimacum. Anybody heard of Chimacum? Yes. Beautiful little farming community. I went to grade school, junior high, and high school at Chimacum. And then my dad decided to get out of law enforcement because the criminals were getting too many rights in the early 70s. And they moved us over to Eastern Washington to Republics. Anybody been to Republic? Right on. It's a small mountain town in northeastern corner of Washington, right up by the Canadian border, eh? And I went to high school there. My parents bought a lumber yard and a hardware store. And I went to high school there. I met my high school sweetheart, Barb. We've been married for 43 years this year. I don't know how she put up with me for so to turn civilians into soldiers. After the military, I got out in 1984 after serving 4 years with one of the greatest presidents in my lifetime, President Ronald Reagan. And Barb and I moved our young family back right here to Olympia. Amazing, right? Here I am, back home. But I learned the trades. I worked for other people. I learned how to build houses, frame houses, do concrete foundations and driveways. And I worked for other people for 3 or 4 years. And then in 1988, I started my own construction business right here in South Sound. And I ran that business for over 20 years, but let me tell you how I started it. I bought a 1977 Datsun pickup truck from my grandpa for $600 on payments. And I had a homemade single axle trailer that I used to haul concrete forms from one job site to another. I had 1 employee. But I ran that business for over 20 years and built it up to multiple trucks, multiple employees, doing jobs all around Puget Sound. And then in 2010, a job opening came open for a police officer in the city of Republic, where I met my high school sweetheart, where she lived her whole life. And, you know, I told you my dad was a deputy sheriff when I was a kid. I thought I was always going to grow up to be a police officer. You know, that was my childhood dream. And I told Barb, you know, I'm going to apply for that job to be a police officer. And I did. I got hired. We sold my business to my youngest son, Adam, who's here somewhere. And he still runs it to this day. But I got hired. I went through the police academy at 49 years old. Most of the people in my class were half my age, and most of them called me Grandpa. But I made it through. I became a police officer, and I've been a patrol officer. I've been a canine handler. I've been the sergeant for the force. I was a narcotics detective for 3 years. And for the last 4 years, I've been the chief of police in Republic. It's very rewarding work. I wish I would have done it when I was younger, because there's nothing more rewarding than to put bad people in jail and help good people, right? And help a few along the way turn their lives around. But a series of events started happening in 2018. They weren't by my design, they weren't planned by me, they just started happening, and that's what's led me to be standing in front of you right now at running for governor. So in November of 2018, remember that Anti-Gun Initiative 1639 that passed in this state? Boo is right. That banned 18 to 21-year-olds from buying a semi-automatic rifle. It was against the law. If they already own one, they couldn't leave their own property with it. It not only did that, but it could make potential felons out of otherwise law-abiding citizens. If a criminal broke into your home, stole a firearm, went out, committed a crime with that firearm, you as a homeowner could be charged with up to a felony for that. I knew it was bad law. I knew it was unconstitutional because Article 1, Section 24 of the Washington State Constitution says that the right of the individual citizen to bear arms in defense of himself or the state shall not be impaired. Isn't that beautiful? One simple sentence that a 6th grader can tell you what it means. The right of the individual citizen to bear arms in defense of himself or the state shall not be impaired. That's amazing.
So I knew it was unconstitutional. The day after it passed, I was asked by citizens if I was going to start arresting 18 and 21-year-olds who I saw with a semi-automatic rifle. And my answer to them, no, I'm not going to do that because it's a violation of their constitutional rights, and I took an oath of office to uphold and defend the Constitution. There was no way I was going to violate my oath of office. I took that oath of office 3 times. Once in the military, once when I became a police officer, and then once when I was promoted to chief of police. I was not going to break my promise. Kind of funny what started happening next. You know, more and more people kept asking me, are you going to arrest people? And I kept answering the same thing. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to put a post on our Facebook page, on the police department Facebook page, and let all the citizens I serve know where I stand. So I posted on there that as long as I'm the chief of police in the Republic, no officer working under me will violate any citizen's rights, period. And I sent that out on Facebook.